I'm going to be making a ranking video for the top silver and gold bullion dealers. This was by your request, so here you go. Let's get into it. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Empire Precious Metals. If you're new to the channel, make sure you blast that subscribe button and get the bell notification clicked. That way you get updated with any new content. I have yet to have made one of these videos, these ranking videos, with the 5 different tiers, 6 tiers, whatever. And a lot of channels within the YouTube stacking niche have made a lot of these videos based on various coins and things like that. I haven't done that yet, but I thought it would be interesting to do something like this on the different silver and gold bullion dealers. I get asked all the time, what are the best silver and gold bullion dealers that I recommend? And there have been quite a few over the years that I have used. There are others that I have not used, but I do know from speaking to many people within the community which of these bullion dealers they prefer. And I'm going to be rating these bullion dealers based on 5 different criteria. It's going to be price, selection, the shipping speed, customer service, and the community. When I say community, I'm talking about their presence within the community, within the stacking niche here on YouTube and elsewhere, and also just based on what a lot of people recommend. So I'm just going to be doing this. I haven't actually really gone through each and every one of these. I'm just going to kind of go off the cuff and give you my thoughts on my experiences with them, as well as what I've heard from others. Forgive me if some of the logos have cut out, but it is what it is. We're just going to get right into it. All right, so the first one is going to be APMEX. Now, APMEX, many of you are very familiar with APMEX. They are arguably one of the largest bullion dealers here in the United States. In my opinion, they are the best when it comes to their selection. I think APMEX, by and large, has the best selection of silver and gold coins, bullion, collectibles, etc. Also, just quick disclosure, I am not sponsored by any of these channels. I have worked with JM Bullion in the past, but I am currently not sponsored by any of these channels. So I'm just giving you my honest opinion on all of them. So APMEX, in my opinion, they have the best selection, bar none. They also happen to have the best exclusives, in my opinion. When it comes to price, though, APMEX, they are pretty expensive. There's a few of these on here that are actually quite expensive, APMEX being one of them. Now, shipping speed tends to be quite fast. This usually is due to your payment methods. If you pay by PayPal or credit card, usually your stuff gets shipped out very, very quickly with a lot of these bullion dealers. But if you pay by ACH or e-check, or physical check, if you're from like the 1800s, then you're going to take a lot longer to get your stuff. So APMEX has, average to quick shipping. Customer service now. Customer service, I've had experiences with them in the past. Not a horrible experience, but when I first started stacking, I received some coins in the mail that were scratched. And when I called them about it, they said, okay, sir, you can send them back to us. And then once we receive it, we will send you replacements. That's a very fair way to fix a situation. But if you're an impatient person, that's a pain in the ass. And so I decided just to keep the coins and just bellyache to them. Now, community, oh boy, they get dinged on community within the stacking niche on YouTube. A lot of people have called APMEX various names like CrapMEX. You can see it in the comments. I've had people on my YouTube auctions deliberately not buy something because I had stuff in the APMEX, poly bag. So they happen to have like a negative view from a lot of people within the stacking community. Not all of them, just a lot of them. So based on their price, which is their selection, which is top notch, shipping is okay, customer service is okay, community, I'm going to go with the not too shabby for APMEX. Here it's looking like PMEX. I'm going to go with not too shabby. Okay. Bold Precious Metals, they are a smaller company. Their price seems to be, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really expensive, 1 being like dirt cheap. They seem to be usually around like a 6 or a 7 depending. Sometimes you could get a deal, other times not so much. Their shipping I've found to be average. Customer service was average when I've dealt with them in the past. One time they sent me something incorrectly, a very expensive item, which I did not order. I could have just kept it, but karma, you know what I'm saying? So I called them. They were very appreciative. I think this actually happened twice to me. In the past, Guido Stacken and I have worked with Bold Precious Metals when it came to, let me just turn off my phone here. When it came to different charity events and things like that. So we've worked with them in the past. Their selection is decent. Tends to gear more towards the collectible and semi-numismatic stuff, which is something that I like. Customer service, like I said, is okay. Community, I haven't really seen anything negative about them. I'm going to put them into the not too shabby category. Bullion exchanges, price. In my opinion, from what I've found, they tend to be very inexpensive. They also have a very good selection. They do have a lot of collectibles, and they do have a lot of, bullion grade stuff if you're looking just for, silver eagles, gold eagles, maple leafs, things like that. So they do have a pretty decent selection. So price, they've got a one-up on APMEX and Bold, in my opinion. Selection, they've got one up over on Bold. They are very solid when it comes to their selection and price. Now, customer service, shipping, they are really slow with shipping. And I happen to be right over the Hudson River from them. They're based in New York City, if I'm not mistaken. I'm in New Jersey. It shouldn't really take them too long to ship. And I've done plenty of business with them in the past, and they have taken quite a while to ship stuff to me, which is a pain in the butt. So I'm going to ding them on the shipping. Customer service, I've dealt with them in the past when I was getting my reseller certificates filed with them. Decent, I would say, customer service. Community, they have a good reputation from what I've seen within the community. So this, we might revisit them. They're in the not too shabby category. The top, by the way, and I think I failed to mention what these categories are. Danger zone is like, stay away from them. They're terrible. Caution, you can deal with them, but be cautious, right? Meh is like, take it or leave it. You are, really not losing anything by working with them and not really gaining anything by working with them. Not too shabby is that they're a pretty solid company. Can't go wrong. Money, this is something that I used in a previous video. Money category or printing money category, that's like solid, right? Top of the line, top notch. We might move this. They're kind of like in between money and not too shabby, in my opinion, on my experiences with them so far. All right, government, lesser known within the stacking niche. You never really hear too much about them. My experiences with them, I've only ordered a few times. They happen to be quite expensive. Their selection is more in the collectible genre, if you will. From my experience, anyhow, I did purchase a few things that were hard to find from them. I had to pay quite a bit of money. However, I was fortunate in that I was able to recover some of those costs on my live sales and on Instagram. Shipping, they were fine. Nothing wrong with them. Customer service, I haven't had to deal with them with customer service. And again, community, they don't seem to really stand out. In a recent poll that I did, and I'm going to pop that up in just a moment, they didn't really stand out at all. I'm going to put them in the meh category. They're not a bad company. We'll just put them in the meh category. Hero Bullion. Hero Bullion is kind of like the underdog. I know that they were founded by a couple of employees from Prohibited Metals, if I'm not mistaken. Hero Bullion, so far, price, and when I've dealt with them, their price was pretty solid. They tend to be very competitive. Their selection is, I would say, average. They're a smaller company. They're not going to have a robust, inventory like some of these other companies, which are huge. But they have a decent selection for what you're looking for. They do carry some collectibles and some, run-of-the-mill, I would say, help me out here, guys. Bullion products like eagles, silver eagles, maple leafs, things like that. Shipping, they were very fast with shipping. Customer service, I've heard good things. Community, they seem to be well liked within the community here on the stacking niche. As you could see in the in the poll there, we're gonna put them in the we're going to throw them a bone here and put them in the not too shabby category. Now, JM Bullion, arguably, again, one of the largest. They were bought by A-Mark. They are a very big company. Provident Metals also is a sister company to them. We're going to move them over here. Price. JM Bullion used to be a very good retailer when it came to price. Over the last, I would say, 1.5 to 2 years, though, many of us in the stacking niche, myself included, even though I've worked with them, I did notice that they did have an increase in their pricing. In fact, a lot of people would go to JM Bullion as an alternative to an APMEX because they had a very robust, I would say, a robust inventory, but their pricing was very good. So their price now is in line with APMEX. So I'm going to put them at the category when it comes to the price. Selection, lately, if you look, it seems like a lot of the stuff, they're sold out of quite a bit of things. You have to do like the remind me type of stuff. Shipping, they were very fast with shipping. Customer service, I never had an issue with them. And community, what they do have that some of these other dealers do not have is that they offer veterans a discount, the top tier pricing that you can possibly have. So they offer veterans a discount. I do that also on EmpirePreciousMetals.com. So JM Bullion, though, because the price has gone up, their selection has kind of seemed to kind of dwindle a bit. I'm going to kind of put them in the meh category for now. Provident Metals, same sort of thing. I don't really understand why Provident Metals even needs to exist anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. Ever since JM Bullion bought them, it seems that Provident Metals pricing is in line with JM Bullion's. To me, I don't quite understand the strategy behind A-Mark keeping these two companies separate and why they didn't just take Provident Metals, or why JM didn't just completely absorb Provident Metals. Maybe it's because of an operations aspect, a logistics aspect of where they are located, possibly. I don't entirely know. Provident Metals, they do issue some exclusives every once in a while. They had the Zombucks, which they just recently re-released or reopened, I should say, with the World Coins, with the Pandas. So that's a very cool thing that they have. They also offered like the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. JM Bullion started the emoji series with which you don't really see any hype over that. Provident Metals, I would just put in the meh category. I don't really understand their purpose anymore when bought by JM Bullion. Now, Modern Coin Mart. I have a little bit of a funny history with Modern Coin Mart. Modern Coin Mart, I used them, I believe, one time. I'm trying to remember exactly what I bought from them a while ago. Maybe I didn't. Memory's fuzzy. But what I do remember is my interaction with them on social media, specifically Instagram. I kept the conversation just in case. By and large, what had happened was Modern Coin Mart was taking various people's posts on Instagram and reposting them. And yes, they would credit the particular user, but they didn't ask for permission. So somebody who was running their social media campaigns, they took one of my posts and they posted it on Instagram. And I sent them a message on Instagram saying that, listen, if you are going to be using my trademarked and copyrighted material, I do have a trademark for Empire Precious Metals. If you are going to be using my content, my branded content, perhaps we can work together in a way that it is advantageous to the both of us. Please let me know your thoughts before you start posting any more of my content. Something along those lines. Essentially what I was saying to them was, listen, you're going to be using my content. You got to ask me for permission first and also pay me, essentially. They said, thank you very much for letting us know. We'll keep this in mind in the future. They took off the post that had my content and then they unfollowed me on Instagram. So for that, I'm putting them in the danger zone. I should have like underneath the danger zone like a ball bag category, but I'm putting these guys in the danger zone just because I didn't like my interaction with them. Price, I guess they were fair enough or whatever selection, but I don't buy from them. I would not recommend them to anybody based on my Instagram interaction with them. Monarch Precious Metals, they are a smaller mint. They tend to specialize in things that are more unique, like sand cast poured items, like a 10-ounce dragon versus Vikings rounds, or alien heads, or dice, or Lego bricks, some Egyptian relic type things. Very unique, very cool. They supply some of their stuff to JM and some of these other guys on here. So price, they actually tend to be priced very competitively with the stuff that they are selling. Their selection, in my opinion, is very minimal. I would kind of put them like in midway range when it comes to their selection. Shipping, their prompt customer service, I don't believe I ever had to deal with the customer service. Community, you don't really hear anything from them. We're going to put them in the meh category. They're cool for a couple of things, but we're just going to put them in the meh category for now. Monument Metals, I haven't really had too many interactions with them. I did have one situation where they had a deal, like buy random pandas, best pricing, and you get whatever you get, and you don't get upset. I figured, all right, you know what? I'm going to order like a tube. Maybe I'll get something unique in there. They gave me all the same panda. It was like a 2018 panda or 2017 panda. I forget what it was, but it was like 20 evolve, like the one coin that you did not want. And I contacted them and I said I was disappointed with the shipment. And they said, well, to be honest with you, it is, a buy what you get and you don't get upset type of sale. But if you want to send them back, we can refund you your money. And I believe it was one of their top people at the company at the time. Because of the the customer service that I received from them, I did end up keeping the pandas. I said, no, you're right. Never mind. I'll just keep them. I ended up selling them. Their price is decent. Their selection, from what I have seen and from what people on my poll have said, that they are decent. Shipping was fine. Customer service I thought was pretty good. So I'm going to put them in the, I'll put them in the not too shabby category. New Zealand Mint. All right. Mixed thoughts on New Zealand Mint. New Zealand Mint, in my opinion, has some of the best collectibles out there. They do a lot of Marvel stuff. They do a lot of Star Wars, Disney, things like that. Licensed stuff, but it's high-end stuff. The only issue that I have, though, is their prices. Their prices are really expensive. You're talking $100, sometimes $150 per ounce. And again, it's like collectible stuff, very niche type of thing to the collectors. So price, they are like caution or danger zone. It's hard for you to get your money back unless it's like a Grand Slam home run type of thing. So caution or danger zone when it comes to their price. Their selection, again, it's more of like the collectible stuff. Not so much like the stuff that stackers want. Silver Eagles, Gold Eagles, things like that. Shipping, because they are New Zealand Mint, you can wait quite a while. Sometimes things can get hung up in customs. In fact, one time, some of my Han Solo and Carbonite bars got held up in customs, and I ended up losing money because I had to pay fees to get them out of jail. Spot prices tanked also at the time that I had purchased them, and something else happened. I guess the items that I had purchased lost some of the hype. So because of that, because of them having like a slow shipping speed because of customs and being international, customer service can be a pain in the neck too because we are on completely different time zones. Community, they are well liked though. Their products are well liked by people. I'm gonna go with a proceed with caution though. Just because their prices are high, their selection is limited to like the high-end collectible stuff, and their shipping is slow, and it's hard to get customer service with them just because of the time zone. Not because that they're a bunch of ball bags or anything like that. This just happens to be the geographic location of the New Zealand Mint. Silver Gold Bull. Okay, price. They are relatively low in price. Their selection, however, lately seems to be quite limited. I do tend to buy wholesale from them. You can get really good prices from them, though, even on the retail side of things. So selection is like meh. Their shipping is very fast, and their customer service is very, very good. Community, I didn't really see a lot on them within the community. So I'm going to say not too shabby, though, just because I've purchased quite a bit from them and I've used those items for a lot of my online sales on my website. I can say that they are steady and that you can get if you're just looking for stacking your generics, your silver eagles, maples, Krugerrands, gold Britannias, that stuff, that's a good company to go to. Now, SD Bullion, they are going to get a bump based on the feedback that I got from all of you. Now, SD Bullion's prices, I've heard mixed things. I haven't really bought from SD Bullion personally. I think maybe only one time. SD Bullion, though, you hear mixed reviews. I've had some people say that their prices aren't really that much better. I've noticed this too. When they say the lowest price, period. That's not true. You go on findbullionprices.com. Their pricing is not the lowest. Findbullionprices.com, guys, they have very good listings of everybody, all the dealers, and they are not the cheapest kid on the block. Does that make any sense? But they're not the cheapest guy in town. I think, to be honest with you, now they have a strong selection. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. They have a strong selection. I will give them that. Their shipping, I can't really say anything. I haven't heard anything bad about it. Customer service, I've heard fine things about them. Community, again, they are solid. Now, here's my thought. I think that they are solid within the stacking community because of some of the influencers that they have sponsorships with. Some of the big names within the stacking community, they sponsor. And I think that's part of it, right? You have the influencers, the channels on here that get their bullion sponsorships and their deals, and they're paid to influence. That's some of the perks that you get by putting in all the time with all these companies and these videos that we do. That's some of the perks. Now, SD Bullion, they aligned themselves with 3 of the biggest stacking channels on YouTube. And I will say, in my opinion, I think that has helped them tremendously because just the overwhelming response within the poll that I posted and what you just read and hear and see in the unboxing videos, they are doing a very good job when it comes to marketing themselves within the stacking niche on YouTube. I'm not quite... Instagram, it seems to be like their second vein of, social media. But they have done a very good job. Now, whether or not that makes them, like, superior to the rest, I don't know. I would have put them at the Mac category only because I've never really worked with them. However, because of the overwhelming response that we got, we're going to put them in the not too shabby category. And when it comes to the United States Mint, guys, I think the United States Mint is utter trash, to be honest with you. I think to me, United States Mint have turned off so many people and then collectors when it comes to their releases. The last couple of years when a lot of people went onto their site to try to secure, the new releases of the Morgan dollars and the Peace dollars and those things, and their sites continually crashed. It left a very sour taste in a lot of people's mouths within the stacking community. Their customer service was pretty bad, right? Shipping was kind of lackluster. Now, their selection, essentially you're just going to buy from their catalog and what they have upcoming. They're not really necessarily like a dealer per se. And their prices are expensive. You can't really get a good return on some of their items. I'm going to put them in the danger zone. United States Mint, man, to be in a first world country and to have a third world country type of experience when it comes to buying your products, shame on you. Get your act together. I'm trying to not swear so much in this, but this is my my ranking, guys. Nobody made it into like the money category. If anything, if Atmex would, if their prices were lower, then Atmex could have made it into the top, the money category. Same thing with bullion exchanges, in my opinion. But these companies all right here are solid. Let me know in the comments down below, do you agree or disagree with my assessment of these bullion dealers? I'm sure I'm going to get some pissed off people in the comments, but whatever. This is my experience over the last 10 years of stacking, 4 years being on the YouTube, doing a lot of live sales for 4 years as a dealer. So this is my ranking. Let me know in the comments down below. Agree, disagree, let me know.